Hi everyone, we're XBM Network and this is the Outer Worlds on Xbox One. Just came out on the 25th of October. It's priced at $49.99, or if you're a subscriber of Xbox Game Pass you can pick it up there and install and play for free. It's developed by Obsidian. If you remember, Microsoft just recently acquired these as a first party studio, so we're really excited to see what they can produce in future. Published by Private Division, it is rated 18 and above. It's action and adventure, it's a role-playing game. People's been crying out for these type of games, and the reviews that's come out for this so far have been positive. So if you like this sort of thing, give this a shot. It is a single-player sci-fi RPG. As you explore the furthest reaches of space and encounter a host of factions all vying for power, who you decide to become will determine the fate of everyone of Halcyon. In the corporate equation for the colony, you are the unplanned variable. So, while you're lost in transit on a colonist ship bound for the furthest edge of the galaxy, you've awakened decades later than you expected, and you find yourself in the midst of a deep conspiracy threatening to destroy the Halcyon colony. So as you explore the furthest reaches of space and encounter a host of factions, you're going to determine the fate of everybody. So you can build your character. There's a lot of customization for this one. We're going to show you that because we're going to take you right through the beginning, give you a look at it, how it all starts off. Just different settings. I'm going to show you that. You got all your volumes and subtitle options, controller vibration, the gameplay, the UI, stuff like that. It's just all basics on there. You can also pick difficulty, so you can do a story mode with basically your actions toned down just a slight bit. Normal, it's recommended for most people. Hard, so you're looking for those with an extra challenge. Now Supernova, a bit different. There's a lot to read through on there. So it adds additional challenges to the game. It reduces the difficulty, but if you reduce the difficulty below Supernova, you cannot re-able it. So if you want to do this, stick at it. You've got to eat, drink and sleep to survive. Companions can die permanently, so they're not going to respawn. Your crippled body and limb conditions can only be healed with bed rest. The weapons and armour work very poorly at zero durability. You can only fast travel to your ship. You can only sleep inside your ship. And also you can only manually save while inside your ship, and autosaves are limited. Purpose of this video was going to stick it on normal. Subtitles, I recommend just leaving them on so you don't lose anything, unless you want to turn them off.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
We're just going to let this play through so you see how it opens up. It's been described as Fallout in space. You'll see the comparisons and the style in a moment. Bit of comedy with some of the cutscenes as well.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
So this is where we are going to create our main character. So as you can see, you've got a lot of skill trees across the top. So you've got attribute, skills, aptitude, appearance, name, summary. So we've got some points to allocate here. So as you can see as well, going down some of the options, with strength you've got a percentage on your melee damage, your carrying capacity. As with most games such as like Fallout, Skyrim, The Witcher, stuff like that, if you are overburdened, you are not going to be able to travel as fast. It's going to slow you down during your progress. So just, keep that in mind. I'm just going to add a point on. In fact, most of them gives you the option here. Because I've only got 1 point left. I can either charm people or my temperament. So I'm going to go for charm. X button to go to next. 2 points available there. I'm going to pick dialogue.
I hope we haven't lost that silver tongue to frostbite.
And handguns. So aptitude is basically your job role. What are you on this planet? So you can see left hand side, you've got a lot of options. I'm just going to pick no discernible aptitude. So basically I'm a bit of an outcast maybe. Appearance, this is where we're going to customise our character. You can either be male or female, no in-betweens. 15 heads to choose from. We'll quickly go through them. You can try and recreate yourself if you wish. I'll go for that one. Skin tone again, pick whatever you want. Eye colours, brows, eye size, jaws, nose, tilt, etc. Hair, 30 different styles to pick from. Quickly just going through this bit. Shaved head for this one. Don't need to worry about the colours. Facial hair, 9 styles to pick. A bit of a beard. We've been trapped in space. You can expect a bit of hair growth. Choose whatever colour you want. Your facial hair. Up to yourself. Spin around with the right thumbstick to get a look at it. Got the features. You can put makeup on if you wish. If you're into that sort of thing. Or if you picked a female. Dirt. You can muck yourself up. Scars, you can add a few of them. And you can age yourself as well. We'll sort of go mid-range there. Name, this is where you can pick any name at all, as long as it's reasonable. Don't forget we are a colonist. I'm going to go a bit strange. Subject 1. That'll do. Once you've done that, it'll give you your summary screen, so you've picked all your points, that sort of thing. Start the game with a character. I'm going to take you through the opening section. Bit of a tutorial. Get us onto some of our main quests. Show you how that works. Options for the side quest as well, I'm going to show you them.
Not likely, bootlickers.
We'll just let this play out.
Initiate skip jump. there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
So we get transported to a planet. He's got someone there to help us. Loading screens have a bit of backstory to them as well. So it's 60th anniversary of the Hope's disappearance. Hope was the name of the ship we were stuck on. And all the colonists disappeared.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Oh, Phineas there, I don't think he's all that he seems. He could have an ulterior motive. Cutscenes, you can skip them by holding the A button if you wish. We've now landed on the planet. We've got to look for somebody called Hawthorne.
Ah, you've landed good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
So as soon as you come out that little beacon there, that little transporter, you're going to get a 30G achievement. Welcome to Halcyon. Let's just start the game. This little section acts as a bit of like a tutorial. Get you used to controls. Left stick to walk, A to jump. If you've noticed as well, you've got a little bit of a delay with that because I think we're in a spacesuit type thing. Creatures running around. Crouch with the B button. Also can use that for sneaking. As with most games, you're going to want to explore, and it is recommended you explore everywhere. We are here, and it's around about 30 hours to complete the main quest lines. It's not bad. So this is a marauder. While sneaking, use tall grass rocks or other cover to hide from enemies. Use to sneak past enemies to sneak up to initiate combat. We should take that. So this is grass. A couple of creatures there on the left hand side. You've got awareness meters over enemy's head, tells you if they're investigating. At the minute they're white, I think they're quite calm. We don't want to engage them. Ducks go through here.
Frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
First thing you'll notice with this game as well, it is bright and colourful. Not the usual dull brown palette of, say, Fallout and stuff like that. Somebody here.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings.
So when you come across the NPCs in the game, different people to speak to, you've got a conversation dialogue box that's going to come like this. You can choose different options. You'll see as we progress a little bit further how some of our responses can engage in an aggressive response, or we could be determined to be liars or stuff like that. But if you've played these sort of games before, you sort of know what to expect. So it's completely up to you. You can be a model citizen, play the game, you know, as pure as you can, or you can be roguelike and just want to annihilate everybody. It's completely up to you.
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
So you can see it costs you like a point or so to do different answers.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know
You gain experience as well
got some spare ammo.
if you do something correct.
Not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Once you've exhausted all options, you can look at the sometimes you get an option to leave a conversation before you get all the answers as well. We've now got a gun. Some canisters blocking our way, we're going to take them out.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened?
As with more shooting games,
Can you hear me?
left trigger to aim,
What in there?
right trigger to shoot. You can melee with just clicking the right stick. They're called sprats. You gain XP from killing them. It's a strange thing again. It's called tactical time dilation. So due to complications stemming from being revived after an extended hibernation, our brain processes time differently. Pressing the TTD button slows down the world, giving you time to think as well as take action. You have limited time in this mode. Standing still drains your meter very slowly, while moving and attack it drains it faster. It refreshes over time. This is going to come in handy to combat enemies, I would say. Oh, we got some people here. One down there. One moving as well. Take that one out, that is easy enough. Nifty little feature. We'll take all of them. What have we got here? Mag picks. Food provisions. Every now and again you'll get little boxes like this popping up, little hints in the game. So that says about hacking and picking locks. Just picked up 3 of them. Remember, we've got to be careful about our weight limits, what we can carry. We can pick that. Just hold the X button. The requirement of picking containers, safes, etc., that sort of thing is going to be on screen. If you haven't got enough mag picks, go and find some more. Maybe come back to the area. As mentioned, fast travel. So I'm sure we could explore again areas if we haven't quite completed them. Just got to go along grass here so they don't see me. At the minute I think there's only 2 of them. They have health bars as well, which is going to come in handy. We know how much is left to take out. I'm sure there was a 3rd one shouting there somewhere. There it is. LB button is going to give you your health, so it's like an inhaler type thing. Reload with the X button. Just be on our way. There's a what is that? That's a ship. 2 people down there. I don't think they're enemies. They're lighting up in white, so they should be alright. So that's an enemy over there. So right, so if you find an enemy, you're going to get the health bar over the head. So they're friendlies. Go and see what they've got to say.
Get over here before you get yourself killed. The gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
We'll tell them we've got the friend up the top.
How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
Bit of a lazy commander, that one.
Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Yeah, so they want me to go and help check these out, it looks like.
Marauders, deserters, illegal landing. What is this colony coming to?
You can loot. So take whatever you want from them.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
So we found the ship.
This is gonna take a lot of...
She's nothing else to say, so we'll go and explore this.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
So we can fast travel to previously unlocked locations by opening map and selecting. That'll come in handy.
Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health.
Got a shotgun there, we'll have that. Pick up weapon parts. Workbench. So we can craft as well. So the workbench, when you come across them, is going to allow you to repair, upgrade, modify your weapons and armor. Each screen, select weapons or armors you want to work on. Choose what you want to do with it. Interesting. So far we've got guns, sabers, shotguns. We can install mods. So you've got 12 boxes there if you come across them.
Marauder, please be informed that the engine room contains nothing of value.
That requires a power regulator. The onboard computer here telling us not to interfere basically.
Please be advised that using the respecification machine will not make you a better person.
So respec, we can refund all our spent skill and perk points, then you can spend them all in a different way. So if you're not happy with the way your character is, I'm not going to do that, you can respec yourself and go again. Nothing of interest just up here.
Marauder, please be informed the ship has no crew for you to murder.
If there's none to murder, there's no danger to us. It's a bonus.
All doors are on security lockdown. Nice try, Marauder.
They think we're a marauder, which we would not.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels.
This is control.
Crime. Please submit. Hello. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing.
What's that, we're getting kicked out?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
We've killed Hawthorne by landing on him.
I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location.
We could be truthful, tell her that Hawthorne's dead or the Marauders killed him. She'll probably pick through our lies, so we'll go with this one.
I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done.
We're going to check his identity, it looks like.
Your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. The settlement of Edgewater is located nearby.
So secondary quest and main quest are going to pop up on the top of the right hand of the screen.
I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity cartridge.
We are now the captain.
Try not to lose its time. This cartridge registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
We've now gained some skill perks, so we just hold the view button and that gets us onto our ledger. Skills go up to a maximum of 50. After 50 you have to add points to directly to specialized skills up to 100. Every skill improves as it grows. Special unlock bonuses occur every 20 points. To read all the descriptions. So we've got 10 points available there. I'm going to add a couple onto our handgun. You can pick whatever you want, really. Completely up to yourself. It's however you want to play the game. Let's come off that a second. So we're going to perks. Get a new perk point to spend every 2 levels. You can also acquire perk through gameplay, such as accepting a flaw. Acquiring 5 new perks makes the next tier of perks available to you, so there's plenty here to get on with. You get a description as well, 50 kilo carrying capacity. Unlock the ability to fast travel when encumbered. That is a very good perk, that. So if you're overburdened with weight and that sort of thing, you can fast travel back to your ship or a unlocked destination. So you should be able to store stuff. It's quite interesting. We're going to pick health. No perks left. Just applied them. There's our details if you want to look at them. Reputation. So you've got good and bad traits. Am I back on the skills, am I? 10 points back on my skills. I'm going to go for the guns again. A few more onto them. I think that's what I know what's happening. I'm not managing to save it for some reason. So you got to highlight the selected ones to apply. That's alright. Come back off there. We're going out the ship. So destinations are little green markers on the screen.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Yeah, fair point. I'll let it go this time. If you're looking to help us out with our marauder problem, talk to Constable Reyes over in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Right, that's finished. So we've got 300 meters to go. Have to be careful there's no enemies just hanging about. Speaking of enemies, there's one, I think. Completely missed him there. Oh, I'm getting attacked. There's another one. I have to top up my health, maybe. They're dead. There's some civilians there. Nothing of interest on them. That fella's there. Nothing on him. Like a big moon just over that way. So there's Edgewater to the left. We can do a bit of exploring down there, I think, if we wish. You could go that way. I'll say you wouldn't have to stay on the set path. You are able to go off and do other things. The graveyard.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go uphill. Territory, friend. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices.
We could tell the truth, say we are Subject 1, that's our name we picked, or we could say we're the captain, we'll try that one.
Just to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see?
Option for a side quest there.
4 workers
Deck collecting.
Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah?
I've got a few clues there where people are. Ask about the Hope.
Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the aether never to be found again? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing far as rumors go. There a reason you asking?
Don't want to give my identification away just yet. So now we're coming into Edgewater. So again, green little beacons, little directional things. They're going to tell you where you need to go. This is a barber shop.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. So everyone says, until someone forgets to cough into their elbow, and then we're all dying of plague. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
We'll get right to the point. We're clicking debt.
Gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. With what? My own blood? Tell Silas I can't afford to pay. And that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
So conversations are quite deep. They're going to open up various story paths. That's a cannery, so there was somebody we were looking for there as well, wasn't there? For the time being, though, we'll go down to this marker. There's salt 2 in there. Cheesy elevator music.
The grease monkey, Argo?
So this must be the leader of the town.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Let's see what we
My
can
dad
do.
told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented.
I think this is going to be our first companion.
You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Companions, we also get an achievement there, 15G achievement for recruiting a companion. So companions can provide combat support. The skills enhance your skills, they increase your carrying capacity, so that's alright. You can unlock special companions' combat abilities with the inspiration skill. Learn more about companions at Companion Ledger.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
She's following.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Top. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You got a minute? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear.
So companions are going to have different sides of stories.
Squeaks or stutters,
So it's always worth
the deserters
inquiring with them.
I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, get my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Miss McDevitt.
So once you've exhausted a line of dialogue, it's going to get greyed out. So you can't ask it again.
Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
So optional quest there, go and speak to the vicar.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
So we've got a couple of places we can go and visit. Go over here first. Oh, 3 places.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
Go on here.
I've always felt weird in here.
Must be the church.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
We'll blame our companion.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
So we're an hour in so far. We've gained half a dozen side quests, it looks like. Our main mission is to get the power, well, the power module thing that we need. So far, early impressions, well, first impressions, it seems good. There's going to be plenty to do. Definitely one that's going to keep you busy. Like I say, main story, I think it's around 30 hours, possibly more. So also, if you're a completionist, you're going to want to do all of it. Yes, our companion is still with us. Some enemies just up there. Sort of guessing, as with most games, you might be able to skip around the enemies and go direct to your quest objectives. There's enemies down there as well, I'll have to be careful here. No idea what that is. There's a botanical lab. What have we got there? He's friendly.
Come along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
So these are the outsiders.
A geo what? Look, planets ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest.
So we're getting a little bit of trust there. We're going to look for the lady that's gone missing. We can go and talk to Adelaide. We can continue exploring. We can go and take out the enemies. It's just up there. So like I said, there is plenty to do. Definitely one I'm going to get into personally. As it is out now. It was out on the 25th. $49.99 on the Xbox store, or like I say, if you've got Xbox Game Pass, just install and play it. And they do offer percentages. I think it's 20% off for new releases, so you'll get a bit of a discount as well if you want to buy it. We're going to leave it there. We are around about an hour into it. That's your opening section. Hope you've enjoyed the video and the look at this. If you do pick it up, let us know on Twitter at XBM_network. A lot of people are talking about this. They're saying it's one of the next big things. Interesting to see what Obsidian do in the future now they have been acquired by Microsoft, especially with next generation just around the corner. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.